This is NBA 2K25. We're here on the PlayStation 5 Pro where the game is enhanced. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is the latest iteration of, well, basketball simulation of the NBA. For 2K, obviously the king, the leader of basketball. Actually, I think really the only player in basketball simulation now. I took a look at this earlier in the year on the Xbox side of things, and with it being PS5 Pro enhanced, I was like, oh, we should, download this, give it a whirl, take a look at it, and see what it's offering here. And, yeah, the results are basically the same. It's already a game that really does take advantage of the current-gen hardware. It got a big upgrade at the start of the generation in terms of visual fidelity, quality, assets, everything like that. And then they've largely just been kind of like coasting since, if that makes sense. They've been largely kind of coasting off those visuals, not really making very large advancements. And yeah, we're kind of seeing that here again with the PS5 Pro, where it is enhanced, but like they've practically done nothing with it. So that likely won't intrigue too many people. If you haven't already played this game, like basically it's like you got a pro, you play NBA regularly, you'll be like, okay, cool. But like other players, this is probably one of the least changed games I've actually seen, like where they've practically done absolutely nothing to this. Now that's not saying that they haven't done anything at all. I forgot about Dick was on this team. That's kind of funny. So didn't even think the ball was going to get over to that guy that fast. Okay. So, like, they have done one thing, and that's they've added ray-traced reflections into the city hub. So, if you do the city hub, you get ray-traced reflections. That's the PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced thing. I mean, it's cool. I'm all about, ray tracing and stuff like that. It's awesome. Like, it's a really neat feature. But, like, from a perspective of improving the game for like people that regularly play it, making it look better or anything like that, not really anything that we're getting here, which is a bit of a bummer. So what is it? It's a 4K resolution. It's 60 FPS. Some of the cinematics and stuff like that are still 30 FPS. Like EA, when they did their PS5 Pro enhancements, while some of them weren't massive, they did at least, kind of integrate higher frame rate like cinematics and stuff. And maybe it's just because how these are filmed or something. But yeah, bit of a bummer to not see like any meaningful upgrades. So basically 4K 60 FPS HDR and ray traced reflections in the city hub, where it basically drops the resolution a little bit, so it's more dynamic. I think it's something like 1800p. Is what you get in the city when you're roaming around enjoying the ray traced reflections, which yeah, that's something. So there you go. That's about it for PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced NBA this year. I hope in the future they're preparing to push things a little further. It seems more like because they're like pretty close partners from what I recall, like as far as like special features and little exclusive little things here or there. PlayStation and NBA. I'm assuming that there was some sort of like, hey, we need nobody cares about that stuff. We need some kind of thing in here to just just enhance this for us, have some kind of feature. And they're like, okay, what's like the quickest thing we could like shove into NBA? They're like, all right, ray traced reflections on glass in the city hub. That's what'll get people going, and we can slap the enhanced tag on it. And I mean, to be fair, it is technically enhanced, but like there's no difference at all. Which is kind of funny. Like when you really think about it, it's like the city hub area. That's like adding ray tracing to the video game menus and being like, this is PS5 Pro enhanced, yo. We're pushing the technical boundaries of what the PlayStation can do. And again, from a technical standpoint, yes, it is enhanced, but like in a meaningful way, nah, not really at all. But it's still kind of funny. I'm so glad. Because I was like, oh, PS5 Pro Enhanced, nice, I'll download this. The download is like 100 something gigabytes. So I was like, actually, I think it's more like 100, like north of 150 gigs, isn't it? And then it's like, yeah, the only difference is like the ray tracing reflections. I was like, what was the point of this? But I mean, I'm too far in, you know. I'm too far in. I mean, the reflections in here don't look too bad. You see like the people's feet and stuff like that. I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, that's something, I guess, you know, seeing it reflected in that. I don't know. Like, what really is... Like, I love ray tracing and stuff, but, like... I think at the end of the day, it's like, what are you really getting here? Anyways, outside of complaining about the lack of meaningful change in the gameplay, what else do we have in this experience? Well, you know, it's the typical NBA experience that you get, you know, every year. You can do Play Now Exhibition, which is where I usually spend most of my time when I play these games, sports games, just kind of what I do. And yeah, that's kind of the main kind of thing for me. And you can do like live kind of event things that are going on, like actually season stuff you can follow. There's the men's, the women's. There's having a career, making like a My Player, going to the city, building stuff, doing the online functionality. There's online multiplayer competitions. There's the ultimate teams. You know, your card, because like honestly, what kind of self-respecting sports game doesn't have a card system that you play and build into? And some street kind of stuff too, and yeah, it's basically pretty much iterative over the previous year. I believe I basically said as much during my review of it as well. This year does have like really weird shooting stuff. I think it's a little better now that they've updated it a bit, but there was definitely some weird shooting things in this game that like really were odd when this launched. It kind of threw me off. I was like, huh, this is kind of strange. If that makes kind of sense. It's like the probability of getting something in the net felt like a little random. Because you'd be hitting like perfects and it would like miss for like accuracy, which kind of takes a lot of the skill out of things. But that was something I noticed at launch, and it seems like it's better here. You're going to notice my shooting's probably going to increase, or accuracy's going to increase a lot when I stop talking and commentating. But mostly I just wanted to give you like a rundown of the, you know, technology here and everything like that, and showcase it and talk about it. Like, still great density for crowds, realistic looking athletes, character models, and you know, lots of personalization, seasonal events, stuff like that. You know, they're always adding new things to NBA, always kind of expanding it, and it's a live service, never-ending sports game that you pay for every year, just like all the sports games are. That's what they've evolved into, and that's just kind of how, you know, this game is. Like, if you played last year's, it's like very negligible changes and or improvements or adjustments, and I think you will kind of expect that. Like, it's, as I said, there's just really nothing like meaningfully different for this, and I'm hoping that that is just because it's like a mid-year thing and they kind of just don't really care, and they're more like next year, you know, with the next iteration we'll have something a little bit more fantastic kind of waiting. I don't know if that's going to be the case, or if this is just literally going to be what the Pro is going forward for NBA. It's just literally reflections. You know, we'll see if we cover this next year. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to get a feel for how people are, you know, responsive to the different like sports games for coverage. So we'll see how that all kind of goes, and if we'll take a look at this on PlayStation next year, if we'll just keep covering, like, I don't know, the Xbox side of things on these sports titles. I don't know for sure yet. Yeah, kind of a violation. Uh-oh, backcourt, over and back. Oh, can't do that stuff. So anyways, like, it's still, you know, it's a full, solid experience of basketball. Simulates it well, looks realistic, everything runs well, advertisements everywhere. I don't know. There's not much I can really say towards anything else in this experience. It's got about everything you would expect. I don't know what else they would really add, but that's you know, the NBA 2K experience in the modern era. Nothing really too changed for the PS5 Pro enhanced option. Just some non-commentary gameplay for you to enjoy and take in more of the game, so you can see more of it in action, I guess.
the Raptors. Hey, Shams, no one is keyed on the league like you. Is there an under-the-radar trend that you're seeing around the NBA, or the next thing that you're anticipating may happen with the way the league will sway one way or the other?
Talking to executives around the league, it's clear that length has been very important, but having players that do multiple things and are versatile, that is of the utmost importance right now. We saw what happened with the Celtics winning a championship this year. I think that certainly is going to have an impact on how teams are going to build moving forward. Like the Celtics, you want to have players, 3 to 5 players that are playing heavy minutes for you, that are doing everything out there on the floor, not just one particular move.
Walter, he's checked in for Grady Dick. And now let's turn to the 2K leaderboard for a look at the squads that have the most points in transition over the past 10 games. The Raptors third.
I mean, no doubt for me that they've hit their stride the last few weeks. I mean, they are punishing the defenses with that up-tempo style.
And it's Shed missing. Celtics trail by 9. Shams, you've been around the NBA for a long time now. Which players do you enjoy watching the most?
Greatness, especially the guys that are regarded among the greatest of all time, like LeBron James, like Stephen Curry, like Kevin Durant. You have to throw those in there. But this is a new era, a new crop. The Jason Tatums, Jaylen Browns, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Have to throw Luka Doncic in there. You have Donovan Mitchell, you have Paolo Banchero, you have Tyrese Halliburton, you have Joel Embiid, you have Tyrese Maxey, Jimmy Butler, you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Zion Williamson, Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama. So let's not have anyone here left out.
All right, they're all fun to watch. Jaylen Brown's checked in for Boston. White comes in for Pritchard. Here's Mobo. Good on the three-point shot. And the Raptors lead by 6.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the result.
Here's Tatum, and Boucher sends it back. Right at the free throw line. Rebound by the Celtics. Their last encounter was in Boston.
And they were a little bit fortunate to come out on top in that one. They were not at their best in that game.
Brown with the bucket. And as the salary cap looks set to rise significantly, Shams, any major effects that you can anticipate?
It won't be like the year the Warriors signed KD. They're going to smooth the cap's numbers, and it's not going to spike quite the same. But these numbers will continue to get eye-popping when you think about player salary, and you have to keep in mind luxury tax and the new second apron that came into play with the collective bargaining agreement, and that will play a part in how teams build, not putting yourself in a restrictive position to continue to build winning organizations.
A lot of moving parts to contend with, but boy, a lot on the horizon. Brown wide open, he fired. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Abaji. He's covered by Brown, and too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
And a moment to see numbers for Horford. He's around 10 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered for them.
And it's a completely new group for Toronto. And a change for the Celtics. Hauser's checked in. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
That will help your assist numbers if you're Derek White. You can't miss that guy.
Toronto leading by 3. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Jaylen Brown has put it all together. He said, I'm figuring out my spots to be aggressive. That's in my DNA. But also showing how I've grown. Being a great screener, delivering passes on time and on target. That's important to being a great teammate. I'm focused on being a better basketball player. Kevin?
Yeah, he's a smart one too, right, David? He is something else. Outstanding stuff, DA, as always. Shams, I am so sorry our time has run out. It has been great having you here with us. We appreciate your time so much and hope we do it again soon.
Thanks, Kevin. Anytime. You know when I'm not on my phone, I'm here to talk to you and talk hoops with you any time of the day.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much again. ADB, wasn't that terrific talking to Shams? He is as plugged into everything around the NBA as anyone you could hope to meet.
A guy who's really in the know, and as somebody who prides themselves on doing research, boy, you have got to respect the legwork and the dedication he brings to the table.
And that one's good, Barnes.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for Boston. 4-point game. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, they put the defense on them. Aggressive, intimidating. They blocked a lot of shots in that one.
It was obvious. They pressured that team from the outset every trip down the floor. That will wear an opponent down over time.
And Greg, we were talking Jaylen Brown making the 2023 All-NBA second team. That was big for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kevin, it made Jaylen eligible for the Supermax, signing for that 5-year extension in July of 23. At the time, the largest contract in NBA history.
And Brown drops them both. You know, Doris, few teams have tried to invite Brown to be a shooter. He's punished them each and every time.
And he's had to put in the work, Kevin, to make himself a legit perimeter threat. And listen, the defense has to make choices. Athletically, this is one of the most gifted players in the league. If you're going to concede anything to Jaylen, it would probably be the three-point shot.
Barrett against Brown. And Pirtle pulls it down. Pirtle's got 7 rebounds in the game. Good if it goes. And he trains the three, but let's see. They may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time.
The previous play is under review.
Bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And a chance here to just double-check the ruling on the floor. I wasn't sure if he got it off in time or not, so I appreciate the second look as well.
The ruling on the floor is overturned.
They're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, in looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take another look at it. I know some folks don't like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
And so it's Toronto heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. We've got your favorite segment on tap as we check out how the Eastern Conference is shaping up.
Taking a look here now at Toronto. They've played below average basketball coming out the gates. They were hoping for more. They were talking a good game in the preseason, but they have not backed it up. Like you never back anything up, Ernie.
All right, fellas, time to talk about that first half. How fantastic has Scotty Barnes been?
Well, he's been absolutely locked in from range, something my man Kenny knows about. Ain't that right, Jet?
Hi, are you talking about me? Oh, I didn't even know. You talking about three-point shooting? Locked in? I just know a little bit about it. I'm sorry.
And that'll do it for halftime.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. And you know, guys, Jason Tatum has really been making it happen.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Well, you can see why they would continue to play through him. He was tough to stop, super assertive down low, just great work.
Starting off the second half, here's Joe Mazzulla's 5. Tatum and Horford man the post positions. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And it's Brown in at the 3. Celtics trail by 7. Here's White. Off target from outside.
There's some defense for you. For someone who's as good at shooting the 3-ball as he is, you need a defender who's equally good at guarding against him.
And Greg, you think about what they call float games. Why does that one shot earn a nickname like that?
I mean,
it's a badge of respect, right? The floaters, teardrops.